Welcome back, everybody, to Pizzas
And Pandas.
And today we have a comedian, TikTok and Instagram sensation, and the winner of the Royal Caribbean belly flop competition.
I don't know how you know that. I don't know how you know that.
Marc-Anthony in the house.
We're Pizzas and Pandas. We have to
How
know.
do you know that?
We have to know everything.
No, how do you actually know that?
Look,
Where did I put that?
We did a little research.
Where did
You've
I-
been posting on your Instagram since 2012.
Oh, it is on there.
And I scrolled all the way to the end.
Dude, I need to, honestly, I got to go back.
There's some you know what? It's like food, family, and just like that's basically it.
Typical Italian boy.
Typical
I love it,
Italian
that was
boy.
good. Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta go back and get rid of a bunch of shit. That's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. Belly flop championship.
Yeah.
So tell us
huge.
about that.
Yeah,
What-
yeah.
What's the backstory on that?
It's not bad.
So I was a fat kid, right? And yeah, it was great. I was on a cruise, and the first time I went, I lost the belly flop contest to this guy who was doing like flips and then landing.
Oh,
Like this guy was clearly
this is a
like,
revenge story.
yeah, this is a it's a revenge. This is Rocky 2, man. I I was pissed off, and I was like, I gotta win this shit.
Yeah.
And like, I was like a celebrity on this fucking cruise ship for the whole week.
Oh, it's a big
Wow.
thing on the.
Oh,
I haven't
huge
been.
because they make you go like higher and higher,
Yeah.
like leaping off bigger things. And I just fucking buddy just welt on my
Yeah, I
chest
bet. I was gonna say, did
for
that
the
not
whole
hurt?
week. Oh, it was brutal.
But it was worth it.
It was worth it.
No,
I got a little gold medal.
You got a gold medal.
On the whole ship, they gave me a certificate. Everywhere I went, they're like, "It's the belly flop champ. Listen, get him in front of the line at the buffet." And I was like, "Fucking beautiful."
That's so
Yeah,
great.
it was hilarious. Yeah,
So it's Marc-Anthony Sinagoga.
Sinagoga. Yeah,
Synagoga.
Synagoga.
Okay. How do you say it? Is that like because you're Italian, right? So it's like synagoga. Like,
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's
Alright.
great. Yeah,
You got it
Do you
perfect right
have
there.
any nicknames from the Because Marc-Anthony's a bit of a mouthful, right?
it is a mouthful, and my middle name's Joseph, so it's like
Marc-Anthony Joseph Synagoga.
bro. How long was that?
Yeah. I know.
Right, I'm aging. It's insane. No nicknames really. Like I got a bunch of like short Italian nicknames. Obviously, if you did your research, I think you already know what those are, probably. But yeah,
What do you want us to call you, Mark?
You can call me whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, I don't care. It's too much. Like I would like struggling with a stage name. Like should I change my name to something?
Yeah.
But it's been too long.
I
You
like
know what
Marc-Anthony though. It has.
Right.
It has a
He
ring to
thought
it.
Anthony was your last name.
I get that all the time. Everyone always thinks that. They're
Okay.
like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Marc-Anthony." They're like, "Okay, great." And then
Mr.
Anthony's on my. Yeah, they say Mr. Anthony all the time. I'm like,
it's like
why would
Mr.
that be my? Yeah, you know. So, yeah, nickname. I got one. My mom called me Picciolino growing up.
Oh,
So
my mom called
That
me.
was a. Really,
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
I watched the video on it. That was.
Oh
funny.
yeah, baby
The stand-up
penis.
comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was really good. It means
baby penis. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Baby
little
penis.
penis. Yeah.
Does she still call you that?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I'm in her
In
phone
public?
as Pichot. It's great.
As Pichot.
Yeah, she like shortens it and yells
She
it
call you
all
that
the
in
time.
public?
Yeah,
Like around other Italians?
all the time. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
Just like Pichot, get over here.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm just like, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of accents. You're good at accents.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you, can you do a Chinese one?
Of course. It's my favorite one. It's
Yeah.
my favorite one to do.
Because I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I
Opening up the Prime.
Yeah, open up
Yeah.
the Prime. Shout out Prime. We're not sponsored.
Shout out
obviously,
Prime. We're trying to
but-
get
Well, you
sponsored.
will be.
Yeah, we will be.
Logan Paul has them in fucking gas stations in Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have them here.
I know. So, because last night we actually recorded a Chinese New Year podcast.
Yeah. Oh, and
And
today's Chinese New Year.
Oh, today is
Happy
Chinese
New
New
Year.
Happy New Year's. Yes.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
you
Gung
finally
hei
made
fat
it.
choi, pal.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
But what they do is they put coins, like dimes, into
Mm.
dumplings, and if you eat it, you like it's good luck, right?
And
You're
you
not supposed
chip
to
a
swallow
tooth
it.
and
Yeah.
all that, yeah.
I almost chipped my tooth because I was eating, I wasn't getting any, so I was tossing them back, and then I forgot at some point. I went.
He's
I
inhaling
almost-
that shit.
Seriously?
I almost
Yeah.
yeah.
Where,
it's-
at, like restaurants, they do that, or like at your house or something.
We do it at home as like a tradition.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
That's how we do it.
Everyone does that.
A lot of people do it. I don't know if everyone does it. But
No, I
it's
mean like all
Oh, in our
Chinese
family?
people for New Year's do it.
yeah. It's like
Nice.
a tradition. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
it's like we like our fortunes. We like our good luck.
Of course, yeah.
So we do that to kind of.
Now, how many do you? Let's say you make a batch of 12. Is it one out of every 12, or is it like you make a batch of 100
So
and like
it's
there's only one?
It's like you just take out 10 coins, right, and then you clean those up, and it's like okay, in this many, I'm gonna put 10 coins in.
Right.
And then you cook all of them. Whole family eats. Whoever gets the most is gonna be most lucky that year.
Oh,
Dante had 6.
yeah, I
out
pulled
of 10.
6.
Yeah. You got the first 4 and like the first 6 dumplings.
Your family's just like, fuck
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
guy.
it's like, yo,
Like, take it off.
It only applies to Chinese people.
it's like, who the hell is
Give me
this
those
Italian in our
That's
house right
fucking
now?
hilarious. Give me those coins. You're like, I'm taking these. And they're like, what? No. That's $6. Are they loonies or are they Asian
No.
coins? Those
They were small like dimes. Like,
Oh, they're like actual Canadian dimes.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I
they-
thought it was
Oh,
gonna be
okay,
like, maybe
okay.
like a quarter or something, so I feel it right when you have to hunt for it. Like,
Yeah,
they're hidden sometimes. That's
Yeah,
exactly what you're doing.
like looking for fish bones in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It catches
That's
you. It catches you.
that's
lacking,
cool.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's dangerous, is what it is.
Yeah, I learned something today.
Now I know you're a bit of a hater on the
Yes.
Canadian, or just in general.
I'm joking. I hate everybody. I'm joking.
in the Canadian comedy scene.
Uh huh.
But you spoke about that on multiple podcasts.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to get into that.
Sure.
Shout out the Toronto Star. They wrote an article. There's a lot of things on you, right? So go read that if you want
Go
to figure
read it,
that
buddy.
out.
Sick.
Even though they made me pay like 39 cents to read it, but it was all right. I, mean,
I
it
was
worth
like,
it.
send that to me because I'm not fucking reading. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
But where do you think like the line is in comedy when you're, where like people get offended? Because I feel like nowadays people get offended a little too often, and I like to offend. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
The line, I don't think there is one. Like, there shouldn't be one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I say this 100 times over, but like, it's our job to find it, and the only way to find it is by crossing it, and then you
Bring it
pull it
back.
back, and then you ride the line purposefully. You know what I mean? But people hold comedians accountable, but not politicians, and you're like,
yeah,
isn't
I
that
know
weird?
it's
Comedians aren't changing laws and rules to make your lives better or worse. We're just throwing laughs out. So
Literally just here to make you laugh.
yeah, and that's always our intention. Like, I mean, I might know like maybe 2 comedians that I've ever met in my life that are like, I love when I like offend people and they leave. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, all of us just want to make you laugh. That's the goal here, to
love
make us.
fucking hating
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like people got to realize that's our intention here is to make you laugh, not fucking, get you crying in the back because we said something that triggered you. You know what I mean? Like, so. I don't know. Deal with your own shit, people.
I know. I feel like people are too sensitive nowadays. Like even my girlfriend's friends, like they'll see some of our clips here and they'll be like, "Wow, that was crazy, Dante." I'm like, I made a Chinese joke to my Chinese friend. Like it's not a big deal.
Of
Like,
course. And you know what's funny is like, if he's cool with it and you guys are all right with
Yeah.
that, like it should be fine. But like, I'm sure there's Asian people on his behalf that are furious at you and
Probably.
Yeah,
vice
they're
versa.
probably furious at me.
Now,
vice versa.
you know what's funny? The whole time I was like, why is this called Pizza and Pandas?
Yep.
And I never got it until you guys said
My
it.
pizzas, your pandas.
And
Well,
your
right now we're
pandas.
pizzas, pastas, and pandas. At this
Pastas
point.
and Pandas? Yeah, that's right. Pizza, pasta, and pandas. Sounds like the worst restaurant ever. You know what I mean? Pizza, pasta, Panda
Pandas.
Express.
I don't know if you saw any of our clips, but
I did, yeah.
I went to Panda Express.
Yeah.
And it was
I did see-
horrible.
It is pretty bad.
Because I chalked them up as like really high end Chinese restaurant, so good. Everybody
Where?
Panda Express.
I was so excited when he was telling me about this.
Yeah.
Oh, you were like,
I
let's
was-
go to a high-end spot, and you
No,
brought
I
him to
went
Pan-
and I took a selfie and with the workers to show him.
So I took a selfie with the fucking workers. Like,
You're like, yo, found your friends. That's
They
fuck-
weren't even Chinese.
They weren't Chinese. That's hilarious.
There's one little lady in the background that's chefing up in the background.
Oh,
That's Chinese.
That's
They
hilarious.
probably hate me, but I was
That's
whatever.
so
It was in Florida.
funny,
Anything goes in Florida.
Is it an American company, Panda
I
Express?
think so.
honestly, I've never been to Panda Express. To
Oh
be
no, I'm
completely
not
honest
saying
with
that you have. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I just don't. I can't remember. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw one in Canada that's not like in a food court.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
It's like because they try to do it like fast food, right?
Yeah, it's like Manchu Walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
which is
yeah.
way better.
Yeah.
Probably.
Equally brutal, but like, you know what I
The-
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I would say the only I don't know how you guys feel, but for me as a Chinese person, the only crazy thing about how they do it is they put so much food for you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
a lot. Of
that's the only reason why I go. That's like I'm like, we're going to Manchu Walk because for $10.
yeah,
Yeah,
10
exactly.
I
bucks
can't
eat
close
for
the
3
lid.
days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like that's good.
That's
forever.
great. Yeah. I love that.
So I know you do a lot of no skits.
Yes.
Are you excited to actually be a no?
You know what's funny? I was talking about that the other day about like just abusing my old guy privilege
Yeah.
eventually. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to just like go to the mall with no pants on
I
just
can't
to see if
wait.
anyone
I
says
can't
it.
wait.
Like, you know what I
I
mean? Like,
can't wait to be the old guy in the change room with just balls
just
out.
balls swinging, like, because no one wants to say anything. They're like, oh, he's old, and like I want to see how far I can push
Oh, I
that.
cannot
You know,
wait.
butt naked at the mall, and they're like, "Sir, you're naked." I'll be like, "What? No," you know, like, that kind of shit. You know, like,
Oh shit! I forgot
oh
my
shit,
pants.
yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not. I got a full set of clothes on, and they'll be like, "Are you fucking delusional?" But you know, you don't want them to put you in a home and shit. Like they gotta know where you're joking. You know,
That's the line, right?
that's
Just
the
like
line. Yeah,
stick
the line's
yeah.
with yourself. If people think you have dementia, and then they put you in a fucking home.
Yeah.
Because speaking of my no, and you have a daughter, my no, and I don't know if you do this. I don't even know if this is a thing, but he would dip his finger in grappa and rub it on my gums.
Yeah, the worst.
Is that a thing?
It's still a thing. I have to stop my no daily from doing that.
But is that like something you're supposed to do though? Or is
They
that-
just did that back in the day to like numb the gums
Yeah.
and shit like that. And I'm like, you're putting alcohol into this
'cause,
child. Like
he
you're
would do it all the time with me. Like he would give me little sips of wine, like all the time.
I mean, the sips of wine is like so much because wine is like what 14% alcohol.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying it's good, but if you're like 9 and you have a little sip of
Yeah,
wine,
yeah.
whatever. But like your brain's developing and they're like throwing
You're throwing
80 proof grappa down your throat, like
They're homemade. They don't even know what it actually is.
dude. Like that's just brain damage.
Yeah.
And like I have to stop my nonna daily because right now we're living with them. Our house is we just got a place, like trying to move and stuff. So like. My nonna's like constantly putting her finger in espresso in the morning, and I'm like, why do I have to stop you every day from doing this? Like, can you not grasp? They're like, well, that's how they learn the taste bud. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it.
No,
Like,
she's not gonna be able to walk when she's 3.
yeah, exactly. She's gonna be an alcoholic because you're stupid. You know, it is crazy.
So what grappa? Like what is that? Because I don't know what that is.
It's like basically like. You guys have rice wine and rice with vinegar and things like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with us with grapes.
Okay.
We take grapes, we make wine, and then you can from the sediment make grappa. It's basically like a
It's like vodka.
That's like a harder like wine.
like-
yeah, it's made
vodka,
from
but-
grapes. Yeah, yeah, it's like a clear.
yeah, you just
booze.
drink it.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
It's
oh
brutal.
my
It's
God.
like 90 proof alcohol. It's
Yeah,
just off.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
It's
And a lot of
Is
old
that
people
even,
make
like-
it themselves.
Okay.
And then you're like, this is even worse.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
it's
don't
just,
even know what's in there at that point.
well, you do, but it's just like they don't ferment it properly, or they don't know how to get good flavors out of it.
So it's
and
not
next thing-
regulated.
Right,
Yeah.
They're just like they're so old. They've been drinking it for so many years. They don't even have like taste buds anymore. So
Yeah.
they're
They
just
don't
like
even feel anymore.
yeah. They just don't.
It's
feel
Italian moonshine. Is
Yeah, it's
exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Now-
No.
Oh,
No.
it's not.
Oh, I wish I brought some just so you can have some of my grandfather's and you'll just throw up
Oh
everywhere.
God, yeah.
Oh,
That's set me
Doesn't
off
taste
completely.
good at all.
Okay.
No, and I don't know why we drink it, but
Do you guys drink it?
I have.
There's a few like my brother's into the mixology stuff, so like
Yeah.
he'll import the really high end ones, and like
Okay.
there's some great ones out there where like they got good flavor going on.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like any homemade one,
Oh,
forget
yeah,
it, bro.
stay
Don't even
away.
like they're like you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
try this grappa. I'm like I'm good.
I know.
It's like ouzo. You ever had ouzo?
No, what's Uzo?
It's like the Greek version.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
okay,
it's disgusting.
Also, just straight
brutal.
piss. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to convince him to do it, and I wanted to ask maybe you wanted to do it.
Uh huh.
And this is I don't even know if we're gonna do it, but you know Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, right? They have a podcast, Two Bears, One Cave, and they're doing a 5K in May. So they're trying to get a bunch of comedians. They they called like Sean Gillis. They called a bunch of comedians I didn't even know they existed. Whatever. They're trying to get everyone out. I don't know where it's gonna happen. It might be in the States, but I'm trying to get people and just have people there. And I think it's supposed to be a 5K run. It's supposed to be
Right,
like
right.
positive, just being better. 5K
Like
walk
to
and
go
walk.
there to do it, or you want to do the 5K here?
I want to go there.
Yeah.
He can't
Where is
run.
it?
I don't. They haven't set any dates or anything or any locations. They're gonna do it somewhere.
Right, right.
They said 5K in May.
They
right?
said 5K in May is all they've done so far. I don't
Yeah.
even know if they're gonna commit to it,
That's a lot.
but because
Yeah.
he can't. Like I know he looks like a very.
You look
fit,
athletic, yeah.
Athletic. He can't run maybe a K. Like he has
yeah.
zero. Like
I
I think
have
his
no
lungs are falling
stamina,
off. He
so-
doesn't smoke. Doesn't do anything. Cannot run.
Is that crazy? What do you think it is?
I don't know, man. Well, I
It's
mean, like any fucking, what do you call
Chinese
it?
person?
No, any Chinese person can't run. We all know that. I'm joking. No, but like all cardio, you got to work up to it. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
can't just
yeah.
run it if you don't train your lungs to fucking
Yeah.
open and close. Fucking idiot. But
Like I've played footy my whole life, so 5K is like whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of Chinese runners, have you heard about that Chinese runner
heard-
that was chain smoking when he
did.
did that?
Yeah.
That was
That is
pretty
crazy. Do you know him?
Honestly, I think. Do I know him?
Yeah.
Of course I know him. Do I know him? No, every Chinese
Yeah,
person.
that's what I assumed.
But-
I know every Chinese person.
That's what's crazy.
All
about
4
Chinese
billion of them.
Because like they like these people literally smoke like back to back to back like every single day.
Yeah.
And their lungs are like built to it, like for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like compared to us, like if we were to do that, like we're literally dead the next day.
Yeah.
But them, it's like It's just living. That's like how they breathe.
And
It's
it's
like
wild
oxygen.
because like of the pollution in China anyways. Like it's probably already like
They were
smoking.
born into that.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
It's Shane Gillis, by the way. You
What did I
said
say?
Sean Gillis.
Oh.
I just don't want them to roast you. That's
Oh,
all.
my bad. Sorry.
And I feel like
know
someone's
what?
gonna be like, the comedian didn't step in and fucking
Yeah, you know what? I thank you for doing that, but Bert, if you want to roast me, by all means,
come
shit.
run with Sean Gillis. And then you go down there and it's like not Shane Gillis,
Yeah.
obviously. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, I don't care, man. Whatever you
Yeah.
do.
I don't know if I could run a 5K. I mean, I can't run a 5K for sure. I could walk a 5K. I could jog here and there.
We could do, like, honestly, I think that's open to anyone.
You think you could walk a 5K?
For sure.
You could walk 5K.
I don't think I could walk a 5K.
For sure, dude.
That's crazy.
No, man. It's not that far.
It's
not that
pretty far,
No,
bro.
it's not.
Dude, in high school, I walked a 10K. You know, at the end of the year in fitness class, you had to do a 10K. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys had to do that, but
How do you find being like,
up here?
no, just in an
Oh.
age where you can, like, you're buying a house and stuff. Like, we're looking at this like, we're never buying a house because we can.
Just do it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah, if you can.
Because we're looking at, like,
Or-
$1 million. We just got to save up for the rest of our lives to put a down payment on a
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. But I mean, if you go into I am assuming your families are going to help you out. And like,
hope so.
you know what I mean? Families, I feel like you have to help out everyone at all
Yeah,
times.
I
You know
guess
what I mean?
that's
Like my
true. Yeah.
family helps me out. Like, you know, or else what are you going to do? Like people who don't have families to help them out. I'm like, I don't know how you do anything. Like, you know,
My
you
family's
just-
ready to sell everything, pack up, and move back to Italy. I'm not gonna
That would
lie.
be fucking unbelievable. Yeah.
Like, they're
you
ready
can
to
buy,
do that.
Unbelievable.
you can you can buy like 50 vineyards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like they're like Dante. Like once you and your sister get out of university, like
We're gone.
we're gone.
Wrap it
Like
up.
maybe like 6 months there, 6 months here. We don't want to leave you fully, but they're ready to pack up.
Even the U.S. somewhere, like you can go to Florida and just fucking what is
My aunt just moved to Florida. Actually,
really?
she just moved to Florida. Like she lives in like a great home, whatever.
What is this, dude?
And yeah,
Why do I feel like there's a gun in here? Look at this. These guys brought fucking salami in a goddamn briefcase.
homemade.
Homemade, I can tell. With the chipped plate.
Now I know you said no to the breadsticks.
I will not say no to
cannot
this
say no to that.
because you know the kid's on like a little bit of a keto situation.
Oh, it's the breadsticks. It's not the.
It's the
okay.
bread. It's not the man who made the bread.
Oh.
Are you Calabrese?
I am half Calabrese.
I
yeah.
can see that.
You can see it in the thing.
I can see it in the salami,
so
bro.
Franklin had this for the first time today.
God damn!
Is it good?
This is great, bro.
Oh yeah.
Let me get
Fra-
it.
Get in here.
He had this for the first time
Happy
today.
New Year, pal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Happy
thank
New
you,
Year.
thank you, thank you.
He had this for the first time today, and he's like, "Whoa!" Like, yeah. It's my favorite thing on the planet.
You know what? This is fantastic. We just made ours this year.
We just made it too. Actually, after the podcast, it's in the back. I'm gonna show you.
Please.
It's back there. I'm gonna let you
That
know.
would be great.
Yeah, it's.
I
I
went to
love
my
it.
cottage yesterday to hang them all up.
He doesn't understand how
So
exactly
okay,
it works.
so let's talk about this, right? Because like, I know we talked about this, but like, how do you guys like? Does everybody like in your
if you're like your 8th generation, they've been living in Canada for so long, you barely know you're Italian, they might not do this. But for the most part, people that are just off the boat, like grandparents or whatever, my dad's
just off the boat?
my dad's super into it
Yeah.
because like it's just so good that like
So what? You guys do this every single year?
every year. Sugo, this
Every year.
we don't drink. What do you guys make wine? We don't drink wine. My dad
I don't
doesn't
really
drink
help with
drinker.
making of the wine. My dad and my grandfather do, because I don't drink wine that much.
Yeah.
It fucks me up.
Yeah.
Like I just get like hives and rash. I get
Oh,
all
yeah,
hot.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a fan, but
Is it their wine that just does it or any wine?
no, any wine.
Oh, okay.
But they make some good wine, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Tomato paste? Do you guys like
We make
Tomato
tomato
sauce.
sauce.
tomato sauce?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We do that every year. We do
Every
this
September.
every year.
This is every January.
This is every
sauce
January.
every September.
Yeah,
So
but
it's just working all year round. Is that like a?
it's always worth it. Every single time. I don't care how long it
But
takes.
that
It's
is
like
solid.
yeah. It's good.
I can tell what he does in here.
Oh yeah, it's
What does he do?
So Calabrese are known for the chunky fat and the pepper paste that's in here.
Okay.
Can you taste the pepper paste?
I can taste the pepper paste. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic.
yeah. So my dad actually started the back there to sell this because he's like everyone loves it. Everyone that
It's
talks to us
fantastic,
is like
yeah.
this is amazing. But the thing is that the way we make it, right? He doesn't do any of the like artificial things to cure it and stuff like that. So like the cost, because he likes everything organic and he makes it really well, but the cost for all the manja cakes. The manja cakes are never going to buy it because it's going to be a high cost. They're not going to respect it, right? And also, it's tough to get like approved because you're working with meat, and because he doesn't do any of the like artificial stuff to make it technically safe, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, they need the preservatives in there and all that.
And then
shit.
it just doesn't taste like this.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't come out like this. So you know what? They're lost, honestly, at that point.
And you know what? That's why when I give something to friends, if they don't like appreciate it, I'm like, I'm never giving you. Again.
No, because it takes so long. It's just, man,
because one is the taste and the other is just like it. Like you guys really put work into it. Right?
Dude, it takes like a full 3 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
depending on how much you make.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna eat this whole fucking thing.
You can have, honestly, we have so much. Like it's curious. I'm gonna have one, but man, like this is.
Yeah, this is
That's fantastic. You guys do big salamis too?
Yeah, we don't have any left. So I was gonna cut some sopressata for you, but my dad's like, yeah, we don't have any left. It's still curing. So.
Yeah, no, same.
So I'm like, this is good. We call these sasitsi. It's the smaller ones.
Yeah, we call these cacciatores.
Where are you from?
Like Casino, Frosinone area.
Yeah, cousins from Casino. I actually played for Frosinone.
Did you really?
I played for their academy.
That's insane.
They came over to Canada. They liked us, so they did some stuff. And yeah, I played for their academy. I met the whole team too when they were playing in Serie A. It was.
That's massive.
You watch soccer?
Of course, yeah. I'm a Milan fan.
Oh, I'm a Juve fan. We're not doing too hot.
I knew, yeah.
Inter or AC?
There's only AC.
Yeah.
Inter doesn't really exist.
Even though they're first in the league?
Inter is Inter. They're not Milan. They're Inter. That's it.
Fair enough. You don't know what we're talking about, by the way.
Absolutely different language. But
Do you guys, because Chinese make those thin sausages that you guys use in like fried rice and stuff like that. It's like a sweeter sausage.
I don't really make anything at home though. But the thin sweeter sausages.
Yeah. Chinese sausage. I was actually going to suggest to my family, I wanted to try making. I found some recipes online, but my dad's like, no.
Chinese.
He's like, I'm not making.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not making Chinese sausage.
Crazy, actually. My parents actually think sausages are not healthy.
Yeah, because
they're definitely not.
No, they're not. They're not good for you.
They're not good for you.
But they just taste amazing.
Well, especially because like there's like this the curing salt in there.
Yeah,
is not great for you, obviously. And then obviously it's a lot of fat. It's a lot. You know what I mean?
But see, that's the thing. We don't even use the curing salt. We
don't use any curing salt.
Sea salt. That's it.
Really?
Just sea salt.
Then you have to have a nice temperature control
Yeah,
room.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Wait till you see that control.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say because like we did
crazy.
Every time we do it without the curing salt, like there's curing salts, there's preservatives and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We do the curing salt. We do like half the dosage just because when we do it without it, sometimes, bro, like you'll lose half the batch. They get spoiled or whatever because we do it in a non-temperature controlled cantina, right?
Yeah.
And if like the temperature dips a little bit, they're all going bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't have a cantina in our house, so we just it used to be a shack outside in the winter, and then it got cold. And then it would just be we would hope and pray that it didn't get.
That's
too
what
warm.
I mean, right? And fucking sometimes. My grandfather will do it in a garage, and then a raccoon gets in, and you're like, "Thanks, idiot."
Yeah. My mom was freaking out because in the shack there were hawks that came and landed on our trees. We have this tiny little dog, right? My mom's like, "Yo, my dad, you're a dog. She's gonna eat the dog." And I'm like, if the Chinese haven't got there first, we're fine.
Our Chinese neighbors would have taken care of the dog by now.
And the hawks.
It's so funny. My wife grew up with like a little dog, like those little white dogs. You know what I mean? Little, I don't know what they're called, but. Neighbor 5 doors down, same dog, buddy, bird, grabbed it, gone.
See you later.
Dog's dead.
Wow. Did you like never let it outside?
I was just like, buddy, I don't know if that was an eagle or a falcon, but something sniped the dog.
Did you watch it? Get
No,
sniped?
I'm just saying.
That would've
Watch
been
it get
crazy.
sniped.
I couldn't believe that. I was like,
No scope on
Yeah, he
that?
got no scope for the
bro,
backyard.
boom.
That's so fun. I mean, it's not funny. It's sad, but like still.
This is fucking great.
I wanted
What a
to
good
ask
surprise.
What happened to? Then I started little notes. I'm gonna turn. I'll put it in the post. But
What's
what
funny?
happened to this guy?
Like the wood
No,
or the design?
like the design, because I haven't seen it recently.
So
Or
that
just explain it. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't really
That's
figure it out.
he's showing the Funny Man logo. That's the company that I started a long time ago. Produce shows. Now it's more like on just the corporate side of things,
Yeah.
like corporate events and emceeing and comedy, stand up and stuff. It's still the logo of the company. Took down the website because it was just costing me too much for no reason. People just approach me anyways. Right. But yeah, there is a page on my website that's dedicated for it that has the logo and stuff. Logo was designed by my buddy. That's basically a drawing of myself.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Chaplin hat
Yeah.
for old school shit. And that's pretty much it.
That's pretty good.
I love it. Are you gonna wait for your daughter to be old enough to choose her gender?
No, she will never have a choice. The only choice she's gonna have is none. So, with gender, definitely not. Like I'm not really.
I'm not open-minded, is what they're called.
I'm not really open-minded, so
I'm not open-minded either. So
that's hilarious.
because that's what they're calling it nowadays. We're actually closed-minded. We're the Neanderthals.
I mean, yeah, that would be a wild. If she did that, I don't even know how to handle it, but I guess time will tell.
yeah.
Time will
Are
tell.
you scared about that? Because they teach it. They push it more in schools.
I'm telling you, the day that I get a letter, because my buddy got that letter, being like, "Oh, next week we're having a guest speaker to come in and talk about non-binary and all this kind of stuff," and I'm like, "Your daughter's in grade 1.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even
She's
know
learning her ABCs. She
Yeah,
can't
she
spell binary.
can't even write her name yet."
Yeah.
And we're like, to me, it's just like I'm for opening up kids' minds to all the things that are out there, 100%. But it's like, okay, we're not even teaching kids taxes and all these other things that don't make the curriculum, but this got a line bypass somehow and is pushing sex ed up to like, you know what I mean, grade 1. It's like, what do you think is going to happen when this happens? You know, so I'm definitely not for that.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand it either because we, like you said, I feel like there's so many important things. I'm not saying it's not important. Chad, please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah,
expose
don't
me.
hate on the comments.
I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm saying that it. I feel like there's so many more important things that we can talk about.
I mean, it's just, you know, Dave Chappelle says it all the time. It's just like, get in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of things. If you want your thing pushed, it's like, why are we pushing it on children? It's, you know, and like playing with hormones and stuff is also another one where you're like, if you're going to put your kid on hormones because one day he wore a dress, it's like, my sister and her friends used to fucking paint my nails, put me in makeup, and make me run around the house, like, and fuck with me all day long. Yeah. Okay, great. If one day I was by myself painting my nails with different colors because one of the Backstreet Boys did it and I was 7, did that mean that I wanted to identify? And then to then pump them with hormones and fuck with everything. It's like kids are exploring everything. They don't know anything. They're exploring everything. So to force it down their throats, which is what putting it in at grade 1 is, and being like, you know, you can be a bird. It's like, okay, well, you can't. So, like, you know, there's that line of like, well, let's just be realistic here of what is and what isn't. And I feel like there's a lot. Now, people are going to be like, oh, you're transphobic. It's like, no, be whatever the fuck you want to be. Once you're an adult and your brain is formed and you understand what everything is.
Once you can make an actual decision, once you can vote and you can like make choices with everything else in your life that is going to change your life, then you.
I also feel like the voting age should probably be higher. I don't know. Like, there's some times where, like, when I look back, I don't know how old you guys are. How old are you guys?
I'm 20. He's 19.
I'm 19.
Okay. When I was like 16 and I was like, oh, I know everything. And like I'd comment on politics. Like I've seen old shit that I've written or even said, and I'm like, what? I don't even.
We actually have some. No, I'm
Of course. We actually got an old tweet of you, Mark. If we could just, but that's what I mean is like, it's insane. Like when they pull up shit from Kevin Hart from like 15 years ago, it's like,
I know, it's crazy.
Bro, it's like his first year of comedy. He's figuring it out, right? And that's the whole thing is like, you're still figuring out who you are, and what you actually think. So it's like, why are we taking that so seriously as if that's who you are? And you know what I mean? So, and
there's so many times where I'm just sitting there and I'm like, comedian, he's making a joke. Funny. We're doing funny here, guys. Like,
that's not funny. That's rude.
Yeah, that's rude. Like, you just Yeah, no, it really gets me upset. How do you like that Prime?
I love it.
Hey, you a big Prime guy?
I love all Prime stuff.
I love the Prime. I mean, shout out Logan.
Shout out KSI.
Shout out KSI. I mean, I don't know if they
make good stuff.
But the only thing that kind of scares me that my mom actually pointed out is that it says here not intended for children, for adults only, which I thought was like a thing for the energy drink is caffeine, but it says it on these guys too. So I'm like, what are they actually putting in here?
Yeah, I actually didn't realize that.
I didn't really look into it. My mom was like, why are you drinking that stuff? It says not for children. You're a child.
You're like, I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, I'm like, the amount of stuff I put in this body, I don't think a Prime's going to hurt.
I don't think a Prime's going to matter. It might actually help me out.
But yeah, I love it. It's
good shit, yeah. I don't know why it's so good. Like, all the flavors I've had are great.
Yeah,
The energy drinks get me fucking like
the energy drinks?
vibrating.
Yeah.
Have you had energy drinks in the States?
I have not.
I've had some energy drinks in the States, and like I searched up like the daily caffeine limit that you should have in a day, and it's 400 milligrams, and like this little can has like 450 milligrams. I'm like, you only live once, right?
You
So
downed it?
I drank it, and I'm telling you that I think I could have run a marathon after that. Like I was
Bro.
ready to go.
It's insane. Like I had their energy drink, and like I have about 1 to 2 espressos a day. You know what I mean? So, which is 80 milligrams of caffeine in each one. So let's say I have 160 to 200 max. But that's over the course of a day. And I'm not pounding back the espresso. You're sipping it, whatever. I chugged one of their drinks. I was like, I almost bench pressed my nonna out of the window. Like I went nuts. You know what I mean? Like
if you told me to run through that glass wall, I think I would do it
oh
on
my
that.
god!
Like,
And you know what, dude? That was like I had that experience with Red Bull the first time like Red Bull came out, or like I guess the first time I tried it. I was playing basketball in high school, and my buddy's like, "Have one of these before the game." I was like, "Sure." Best first half of my life.
second half.
Couldn't play the second half. I
Yeah,
was like
done.
finished. Ankles swollen. My lungs were like, "You've had enough."
Yeah,
Yep.
like there's some things that I couldn't do, and it's Red Bull, it's Jaeger bombs. Because for some reason, Jaeger bombs, and I tried Prime and vodka, Prime Energy and vodka.
Prime bombs. Yeah.
It's like, they're dangerous.
It is dangerous.
because like I'm ready to do everything.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
You're a little
so
sloppy.
I'm thinking like I can do anything, and I'm ready to do anything, and it's just like, and I'm a psycho, so I'm.
It's wild. I haven't done Jaeger bombs in a while, but I actually don't mind. I think like they taste good.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? The after effects is like when I'm doing a Jaeger bomb, I'm already like
Yeah.
in the
That's
tank
how the
anyways.
Jaeger bombs are coming out.
Yeah, the Jaeger comes in and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all part of the system now, you know?
But yeah, Jaeger bombs are a dangerous combo.
Sausage burps.
Oh, I've let out some great burps in this.
Finish those,
podcast.
dude. I had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
easily have it, yeah.
So good.
I had a lot in my life, but you know what? You know what's my favorite story about this? Because I have some Muslim friends and some Indian friends that don't eat pork. I have some Muslim friends that definitely don't eat pork.
You
right?
converted a few with this?
Well, I'll talk about that after. But
I've done that.
My
You've done
dad is a Muslim friend. He lives out in Montreal. I think he actually watches this. So shout out matey.
What's up, matey?
He didn't eat pork whole life. Tried one of these guys, never looked back.
Of course.
Never looked back. He's
Yep.
converted. He's a Muslim that eats pork.
I did that to a few Muslim guys. They
Yeah,
were like,
it's-
what is this? I'm like, it's pork. He's like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm like, stop eating it then. And he's like,
Like,
no. I'm like,
but there's some Muslims that are
welcome
like,
to Christianity, pal.
bring him on over.
Bring it on over.
Got him.
That's
Yeah.
what got him.
That's what
But
got
there's some Muslims that I know that are my friends. And they will not eat pork,
Yeah.
but they smoke, they drink,
Yeah.
they do drugs. I'm like, so where do you draw
Where's the line?
line?
Yeah. It's the
But-
religious thing. Pigs
But
don't
I'm like,
sweat and all
let me
that.
tell you, this guy.
I'm like, we only do it because pigs are on sale every January for some reason.
Yeah,
You know?
I went to Fortino's
Oh, yeah.
at about 1 p.m. on a weekday. Everyone's cart filled
Filled.
with the spada, with the
Dude.
pork.
No joke. I saw a nonna yelling at the butcher at Fortino's, saying that they bleached the meat. Dude. She was like grabbing anything she could find and like throwing it over the butcher counter. She's like, "You fucking put a Javex on this fucking shoulder." Like, and he's like, "Why would we do that?" Like, I'm not, you know, because like they had like some of them have like a weird tinge going, or like if they're getting old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she thought that they like washed them with Javex to keep
Yeah.
them fresh or rub the smell off of it,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, and she was probably going in, not giving up.
Buddy, like legit grabbing like breadcrumb tins and like throwing it over to them, and they're like, "Someone calm this fucking woman down." I want a discount. He's like, you didn't have to throw shit. I'll just give you a discount. Get the fuck out of here. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they'll do anything for a discount. Those nanas, man. They will do anything.
My nonna will drive to Ottawa if water's on sale. You're like, you're fucking, you know?
My nonna's 89 years old, right?
Wow, nice.
And she was going up an escalator random day with her sister. First of all, she has two sisters and her. She's 89, her sister's 92, and their other sister's 97. So the 92-year-old sister and her are in like a mall, and they're going up an escalator. Didn't tell anyone they're going to the mall. So I'm like, first of all, why are you in a mall? Second of all, why are you on an escalator?
Yeah.
They ended up, the older nonna lost balance and fell onto my nonna, and she fell and ended up having to go to the hospital, right?
A fucking domino effect of old ladies just like bang, bang,
and then
bang.
apparently she said that some lady who was like a bigger lady, she's like a normal lady, fell on top of my nonna. She's like, the fact the lady fell on top of me. And I was like, so she's in the hospital because she like fractured some bones and stuff.
Are you serious?
Horrible. She's come out of the hospital. She's been there for a month, right? She comes out of the hospital. She's like, okay, I'm out of the hospital. She doesn't use her walker. Refuses to use her walker. She's like, I'm not gonna. I can walk. My mom's name's Anita. She's like, Anita, I can walk. I'm not gonna use the walker.
I love it.
And then now it's been like maybe 3 weeks since she left the hospital. She's like, okay, I'm ready to drive. Because she still drives.
I'm ready to drive.
She's like, I'm ready to drive. I'm like, no, I'm taking the keys. You're not driving
Let
anywhere.
me tell you something about old people. Okay, everybody who's watching, old people. If you are over 85, get the license gone. I don't give a fuck how good of a driver they are. It's over. Especially old Italians because they'll refuse.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Chuck their keys. Hide the car. But my grandfather, this guy was found. I shouldn't even say this story. My uncle will be mad. Anyways. We found this guy, bro.
Oh, we're still saying it.
Oh, we're saying it, yeah. But like, this is just an idea. Like, you know, he says, "Oh yeah, I can drive. I can this, I can that." We're like, "Great, no problem." He's got this massive truck, and my uncle lives in Barrie with him and shit. He left my uncle's house at like 9 o'clock. They found this guy at 3 o'clock in the morning in Aurelia. And they're like,
oh, God.
Yeah, and my uncle had to go. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I left their house like 10 minutes ago, and like, I'm lost. I don't know. The lights aren't on the road. And he's like, you left my house 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just like, bro. Everyone's going to watch this and be like, okay, that means your grandfather's lost his mind. Okay, I have 4 other grandparents. They all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. My nonna, and she needs her car because she lives in Woodbridge. Right across the street is a grocery store called Cataldi.
Love
She's
that place.
Love Cataldi. She's like, I'm not gonna go to Cataldi. Are you kidding me? I buy a veal. It's like $14.99. I get a no frill. She lowers her voice. She's like, no,
I love
at a no frill.
Yeah.
I get it for $11.99. I save a $3. I'm like, but you know what? I was thinking about it. She explains all these different things. I'm like, over time, like she saved like $100 on her bill.
Yeah, but what drives me nuts is they'll be like, I'm gonna go to No Frill and get the sausage or the veal. It's $11.99. Then I'm gonna drive it to Food Basic. Basic got it for got a water for $1.99.
Yeah, they got to sell.
Then I'm gonna go to a Fresh Co. They got an onion on. It's like, okay, so in one day you spent 7 hours driving to 5 grocery stores.
Yeah.
Did you save money?
Yeah.
You wasted time and gas. You know.
But I mean, they have time, so it's just gas.
They have they have the time, I guess. You know, they could be making homemade fucking lasagna for us.
But the best thing that she's like, she can't remember. She's getting old, right? So she's forgetting some things. Frank, have the last one. She can't remember some things. But those damn prices at every grocery store, she's got to a T. She knows everything. She walks up and down the aisle. She'll whisper too. We'll be in like No Frills, and we're looking at the peanuts, and she's like, Dante, Vinica. She's like, at a Walmart, these are $2.99. Here it's $4.99. I'm like the people are gonna hear, and like everyone's gonna jump in their car and race to Walmart and steal all the nuts from her.
As if a Walmart employee hears it and goes,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
Regardless.
Just like, give me
she's
a
like
break.
whispering it to me, but she's nuts.
They are frugal. I mean, they save money. They know how.
Yeah.
But it's wild.
It's because of the way they grew up, right? Like they grew up.
Yeah,
poor. Like
the
they're-
war generation.
Yeah.
We'll never see them again. Do you know what I
No.
mean? So,
Are nonnas becoming extinct?
oh yeah.
Do you think?
I literally said that my nonna's funeral, like 5 years ago. I did the eulogy. They asked me to do it.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I said. I'm like, guys, they're going extinct.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to be dead, and once they're dead, we're never going to see women that pluck chickens with their thumbnail that they now has veins in it. Like my nonna had a thumbnail for plucking chickens because she had a farm.
Wow.
But it seems like a fucking razor. She just
Yeah.
right in your neck, you're dead.
Yeah.
And we'll just pluck chickens with it, kill chickens. She'd be like, "Oh, what's your favorite animal?" I'd be like, "Oh, that one. I've been feeding it." She's like, "Beautiful."
Yeah.
Stab it on the dinner table next night. You're like, "That's."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nonnas are going extinct.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend who's a couple years older than me, and her goal is like she's got a lot of aspirations. She wants to be a lawyer, or whatever. But she's like, and then in the end, I will become a nonna. So I'm like, what? One day you're just gonna switch and just start talking. She's like, I'm gonna start talking like that.
100%.
She's like, I'm just gonna become a nonna.
But
And I'm like,
100%.
you know what?
I literally said the same thing. I was like, that's the plan. As soon as I hit, I don't know I guess when I become a nunno,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm just going to buy a hat that I never
Yeah.
take off.
Take off.
I'm going to buy a jacket I never
three
take.
white shirts.
Three
white
three white dress shirts, an
those-
old soccer jacket.
Yeah, and those shoes that are like bricks.
Yeah, the brick leathers.
Yeah, and you're never gonna take them off.
Never take them off. Basically just shit my pants at the dinner table.
And have to have a garden. You
Have to have a garden. The garden is only going to come at that time.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I'm just going to be yelling at everybody. I'm
My
going to
nonna-
tell kids to get off my lawn.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
My nonna had pigeons. He trained pigeons.
Bro.
But the thing is that I don't think he actually bought the pigeons to train them. I think he trained the pigeons in the area.
Dude,
They
what
would
do you guys do?
They would
bro?
eat the pigeons.
You guys
they would
train
eat the pigeons. So
That's wild.
there'd be a bunch of pigeons that came to his backyard. He'd be throwing them. Then every once in a while, my nonna would scoop them with a net and they would have pigeon for dinner.
That is
Wow.
insane. I used to know this guy, this old Italian guy. He's dead now, but he would train squirrels. Like they would come to the backyard, like, and then he would start feeding them. Buddy, you'd go to this guy's house, and like 4 or 5 squirrels show up. He'd do some whistle. They come to your foot. They'd crawl up your back. He'd give you some nuts, and you'd be feeding these squirrels, like wild squirrels.
Way.
Craziest shit I've ever
And
seen.
he catches them with some whistle.
He did some whistle. He trained them to respond.
Okay.
And he would feed them all the time. And I'm like, this is crawl up his back, sit on his shoulder,
That's
feeding
so
them
cool.
nuts. Like you'd show up in his backyard. He had a bocce lane.
Yeah.
So my grandparents would go over there, and he had a fucking squirrel on each shoulder. I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
My nonna, complete opposite. She went to Canadian Tire and she went, excuse me, what aisle is the squirrel poison? Where's the squirrel poison?
I love that.
And they're like, ma'am, we can't. She's like, no, what is the squirrel poison? I need to kill it. I need to kill. She's like, ma'am, you can't kill a squirrel. She's like, he's eating my tomatoes. I gotta kill the squirrel.
See, that's the thing. If you have a garden, it's the reverse. They're like, we're killing every one of these things.
Everything.
Like, one of my
I think nonna
grandfathers
killed the neighbor's cat.
Bro, one of my grandfathers, like, this guy kills everything, bro. He was afraid of being in the news. He was like, please don't tell anybody about that. And I'm like, oh, buddy, you think you're the only one? Like, like you go in his backyard and there's cages everywhere. And you're like, and then there's like a drowning drum that he submerges the cages. You're like, bro, you are
It's
vicious.
nuts. Oh my God, it probably reminds you of home.
That's usually how we have it. Yeah.
I wanted to do like an animated dark horror movie from the animal's perspective, and the villain is just an old Italian guy that drowns these animals.
That would be so funny.
It'd be so
fucked.
funny.
Yeah. It'd be
because
fucked.
it would. Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
And clearly that would be relatable.
Yeah, everyone does it. Everyone does it. We're all kind of the same. Italians are all basically the same.
We're all the same. Yeah.
And
That's
like,
so
if you
cool, though.
find out someone else is Italian, it's like, whoa. And then if you find out from the same region, it's like,
Yeah. Because you guys carry the same traditions. Then.
yeah, I guess that's
Try
you
to,
guys do
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, we do the same thing. But I feel like
There's also, there's north side and south side beef, just like Italians, even in China.
Yeah.
you guys have the same beef,
I
right?
know you guys got a lot of like Hong Kong beef too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
there's
got a
that.
lot of beef. But
Yeah.
usually it's just north sides on top. Though.
What's one of my favorite things is like inter-Asian beef is just hilarious. I love that. It's like that in terms of cultural beefs, Asians amongst other Asian beef is fucking great because you all look at like, what is it, Koreans or is it Vietnamese?
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
like at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, what's the list? Can you give us a list?
What's the list?
You want the list?
Give me
Yeah,
the
can
list.
you rank 'em?
Like I believe Chinese people think they're the
Yeah,
best,
from
and
a
so do
Chinese
and,
perspective, what's the list?
and
Well, like-
Japanese people think they're the best as well,
Yeah.
right?
We don't just think we're the best. We are the best.
So Chinese people are the best, right? There's Chinese.
And then it goes what? Can I say that?
No,
Okay.
but it's too late.
That's
It's too late. That's
It's
out.
too late.
I'll be editing this. Don't you worry.
You're like, what's the other one? Nothing. Just
I
Yeah.
can't say
Yeah.
the Japanese.
It's gotta be Chinese, right?
Chinese.
But then the rest is all Chinese anyway. So
Yeah,
it's
he
like,
thinks
there's no
everything's
point.
China.
that's hilarious. You're
'Cause,
like, you're
like-
all Chinese. What are you talking about?
They're all descendants of
You
China.
know, if I
that's
said
true.
that.
Is it though? Actually, all descendants of China.
So literally back in the day, they were all kind of like little nations of the Chinese dynasties. Yeah. So, but then after they created their own thing, and then it's like Korea.
Okay, let's not avoid the question. Rank them.
I'll rank them. So China first.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I know Joe Coy has a bit about this.
Joe Coy.
Joe Coy, yeah, he's a Filipino comic,
Yeah,
Okay.
Canadian.
and he talks about like the different. And I can't remember who he's like. He's like, and then we all look down on. I think it was Vietnamese. I don't know, or Taiwanese. I can't remember.
Yeah, we honestly once you get more I don't know. Once you get more guys that don't look like our color and our face, you
Right.
just kind of discriminate.
Okay,
But
so
that's
it's like
usually how we do it, though. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll go Chinese first, and then it would probably be like, as much as I don't want to say it, it would probably be Japanese.
Yeah, because they hate Japanese.
yeah, you guys hate each other.
Because we got a
Genocide or
long
something.
history.
You got a
right?
long beef, yeah.
We got a long history. But right now, like Japanese people have been nice. You know what I mean? Nothing but great. Their culture's amazing.
Because they're a powerhouse, of course. They're a little
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean?
They
I don't
don't
want to
work.
glaze them, but like
Yeah.
they're pretty up there. And I'll put Korea probably third, right? But that's only because
Why'd
they're
you point at
all.
yourself?
Oh, you know, people. Do I look Korean,
Really?
or do they all just look the same to you?
No, well, I mean the haircut. Is pretty Korean.
we don't have to get into this hair.
wow,
I've been
dude.
talking so much smack about his hair because he had like a nice middle part before. Then he went to the buzz. After he
What's
buzzed,
the buzz?
like he buzzed his hair.
Oh,
Got a
okay.
buzz cut.
Yeah, every Asian goes through this phase. This is how
Because
we do it.
Asians have about three.
This is
They
what
got about
happens,
3
you know what I mean?
haircuts
Yeah.
they can choose from.
You ask.
Every Asian gets about 3 haircuts
ask
in their
the
whole
Chinese
life.
person.
They got the middle part,
Yeah.
they got the buzz cut,
And
and
then
then they got the
this.
in
They
between.
got the in between.
Right.
So I'm
That's
going through the
so
in-between.
fun. Dude, I'm like flying through Asians in my head that I know, and that is accurate as
Haircuts, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy because
Or they go bald.
or they
Yeah.
but that's the buzz, right? That's just where
just
it
the
is. You
final
take
stage.
everything-
Right, that's the final. Right.
You take everything away, right? And
Yeah.
you grow it back, and I'm in the middle stage right now. It's really hard to find the flow, though. You know what I mean? Like to get it back fully to the long hair.
Do you think that's why everyone says Asians look alike? Do you think it's not because
It's
they
the
look similar? It's that they all have the same haircut.
Yo, maybe.
And
Hair
you know what?
defines
You
a
find that
person.
the same with like all those kids that now have that like high top fucking curly mop
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
going
the
on.
phase and-
They all
yeah.
look the same.
They do all look the same. I also had some blonde friends out in Coburg. They had a photo together. So they did a photo booth. And I told her, I said, I don't know which one's you. You look the exact same. It's the funniest
wild.
photo ever.
Yeah.
You gotta
I
show
want
me.
to pull one thing up because we've been going for a while now.
Yeah.
But I want to pull something up for you. And I keep calling it.
I wanted to touch on that other beef that I love.
Which one? The Chinese one?
No, my favorite cultural beef, dude, is Africans versus every other black person.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that
It's-
one's
oh, yeah.
amazing.
That's top notch. I don't know.
one's
What,
so
like
funny.
watching African people being like American black people disgust me. It's like the funniest shit ever.
So
Because like every other black person's like, we all belong to Africa. And
Yeah.
Africa's like, no, you
get
don't.
away from
You don't belong to us. We don't want nothing to do with you. Like, and I see it all the time. It's so funny, dude.
No, it is hilarious.
We have the same thing for Chinese people, though. Like, they don't even like us.
Oh, like when you go back to China,
Yeah, when
they're
I go
like,
back to
brother.
China,
Yeah.
They're like, yo, you're not even Chinese.
I mean, same
know
with
what I mean?
Italians. Like when I go back to Italy, they're just like, nice. You're Russian? And I'm like, no.
Oh, and they're always like, Questo Americani. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm Canadian.
Yeah, I was like, I'm
not
Canadian, you
American.
son of a bitch. Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
But Italy's always 50 to 100 years behind
Yeah, they're
everybody
right.
else.
You know,
Oh, okay.
they're, like, I thought we were racist.
Right.
These guys.
Oh, yeah, we're
Racist.
Oh, and dude, that's what kills me is everyone's just like, oh, you're racist. I'm like, have you been anywhere else?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, when you go to Italy, like, racism is on another level. You
Yeah.
go to China, same thing. Like, not that I've been there, but like,
Yeah.
you know, you talk to my Indian friends, like, they're just like, you talk to their parents. If their kid marries someone who's not in their culture,
Boom.
forget it,
See you
bro.
later.
Forget it.
Forget it. Same with Asians. Like, if they're just like,
Yeah.
find a nice Asian boy, you bring them someone else, they're like, what is this
He has a white
person?
girlfriend.
I
Do
have
you-
a, I
and
actually
how
have a
is that
Moldovan
going?
girlfriend. She's from Moldova.
Nice.
Like Russia, like.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
And how do
and,
your parents just lose it?
Dude, I think it's gotten to a point where they're just like, yeah,
Whatever.
we can't. There's nothing we can do about this boy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I never had it. Like I never had a Chinese girlfriend.
Right.
It's always been like. White,
I'm more
right?
than sure they were like, okay, he's gonna go to college. We might as well just forget the Asian
were
girlfriend.
ready, you know,
they
they
knew
knew.
already. Well, you have
Right.
very progressive parents.
Put me in the society.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be in this society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine was with an Asian girl, and like he's like, buddy, the family doesn't even want me in the house. He was like, I don't know.
It's great.
They were like, this guy can't do math. You know what I mean? And that was a real statement. Like I didn't
No
make that
way.
up.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? Yeah.
He came. He's like 5 times 7. What is that?
5 times 7.
like
Get
he's
the
like-
fuck out of here. He's like, I don't know. I never.
30. Wrong.
Yeah. It was probably way more than what's 5 times 7.
Yeah. Probably has some.
Had to use bed
I'm gonna
mass.
talk about what my parents put us through in math too, because my parents put me through some crazy stuff. But I want to show you this
Oh,
fox. Have you ever heard of a Tibetan fox?
I mean, it sounds familiar. I watch a lot of National Geographics. That's not a real
I
fox.
swear to God. Scroll through.
Why are you
Scroll
sending
through
this?
the search.
Scroll through the Tibetan fox.
Looks like a high fox. I know.
What,
No,
else, what else does it look
yeah,
like?
what else?
though?
Yeah, I know what you're doing here.
I know what you're doing.
It looks
Because
like
that is the most Chinese fox I've ever seen.
yeah,
in
it
my
looks
life.
like a Shiba Inu logo.
Yeah, we made that one.
Yeah.
That one we can't even.
I don't think you eat them though.
Well, it looks like us. We can't.
Yeah,
Hilarious, dude. This looks like a Pokemon.
yeah. Like
It does.
I want one.
Yeah.
I'm
want
sure you'll
one.
put it up.
Yeah,
You'll
I'll toss it up. I'll toss it up. But speaking about math, and your parents would be proud of me for this.
Okay.
My parents put me in this thing called Spirit of Math.
Brutal.
It's nuts. Like these people that go there to do math competitions.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To leave the classroom, what they would do, we all stood up and they would stand at the front of the class and go, what's 9 times 2 to the power of 5 to square root it, and they'd go for like a good 15 to 20 seconds of like just a problem we had to do. It was called mental math.
It's
We
called
had-
mental math.
We had 2 guesses. We got it wrong, new one. Couldn't leave the classroom until we got it right.
Did you ever leave the classroom?
No,
Legit.
because there was these crazy mathematicians in my class.
Yeah, yeah.
I got it right once because my classmates hated me because I would always rip one of the guesses because they knew I didn't get it. So I was always like, 1. Or like 0. One
Right.
time I
Oh,
got
you
it
get
right.
2 guesses the whole
One
class.
time I got it right.
Whole class gets 2 guesses.
2 guesses?
Oh, okay.
We restarted. It was crazy. It was like I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
There's people in my life
I did
that
cry.
Did you
that's
actually?
wild.
swear to God,
How
I
old were
cried.
you when this happened?
This was between like grade yesterday.
Grade yesterday and today.
No, it's between like grade like 4 to grade 8 maybe. So I was doing like grade 11 math in like elementary school, and then my soccer coach would be like, "Manita, I don't understand. Is he a little slow in math?" And because I had an Italian soccer coach, she's like, "No, he's not slow. It's more like we just want to build him up." And I will never forgive them.
Yeah.
No, he's not. A year later, he's like, "Is he really fast at math?" That's crazy, dude. My wife loves math, and it like freaks me out. Like she like does math equations.
Is she Italian?
Randomly, yeah, like just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah, my dad's like that too. Like my dad like graduated university with like mathematician degree and all
My
that bullshit.
girlfriend, same thing. Yeah.
And I'm just like I remember in elementary school,
Not as much as her.
I'd be like, "Hey, Dad, I would read the equation off the sheet, and he'd give me to like the 4th decimal place. He'd be like 7.8641,
I know,
and
it's
I'm like,
crazy.
It just comes to people.
yeah, and I was like, that's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
no.
People would do that to me, and I would be like, "Dude, how are you more Chinese than me right now?" You know what I mean? It's like,
Is
you're
that
making
the
me-
day where you're like comedy?
Oh yeah, I was like, math's not for me.
Yeah,
I'd love to ask my dad. I want to get my dad on a podcast and be like, when did you realize math and school wasn't for me?
Yeah.
He'd probably say like grade 3,
Yeah, grade
like something
3.
real early. Yeah.
So when did you choose to pursue comedy?
Good question.
Yeah.
If you read the article, you would know.
Really?
Fuck,
Sitting
dude.
down,
What was the answer?
sitting down in his college class, staring at the wall.
Really?
It's true.
That was what it was?
Yeah, I was at Seneca, and then I was like writing shit all the time, and I was like, this is not for me. And I wanted to do Second City, but there was a Humber program.
Yeah.
Auditioned for that. Once I got in, I was like, beautiful, locked in. See you later. Then I did stand up for the first time, and I was
Yeah.
like, nice, found
Wow.
it. Here we are. You know what I mean?
So how was that conversation with Dad though?
Oh, he's just like, as long as you're at that point, he was like, you have to go to school and graduate with something.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, at this point, I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
you
that's
just
what
have to
your mom
leave
says.
with the paper.
Yeah, that's
you know?
exactly what my mom said. Because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like, I hate school. I'm learning about. I'm in environment and business, right?
Wild.
So it's like I'm learning about business, but I have all these weirdos in my class that like recycle and shit. Like,
Right, yeah.
and they're like,
You're like, I'm Italian. We don't recycle. We
Cares
just
about the fucking
we
environment.
just reuse.
we reuse,
We never got
exactly.
to the reduce and recycle. We just stuck to reuse.
Yeah, reuse.
we stopped there.
That's a great bit. You should use that. That's funny.
You can use it. I can give you a
I'll use,
raise.
yeah, that's funny as fuck.
But yeah, like they're weird, and I'm like, I'm done with school. I'm learning about like whales and stuff in class, and I'm like, I can't be asked to do this. She's like, just get a degree, and you can do whatever you want. Because like I love doing this. We streamed for a little bit video games. Just our lives are too busy right
Nice.
now.
Yeah.
We're kind of more going into the whole social media stuff and like the comedy stuff. But man, like, I think it's cool. I think it's super dope.
Yeah.
How do you like it? Like,
It's great.
is it just like, because that's something for me. I have to, if I'm going to do something for the rest of my life, I want to enjoy it. I can't
Yeah.
be sitting at a desk typing away in a cubicle.
Yeah, just find the ways not to be all dad about it, but try to find ways to monetize it as soon as you can, so that you can do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because eventually, if it's not making you money, you'll just stop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you got to make money somehow. So whether that is streaming or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, but I love it. It depends your lane. Like I got into social media just because. The pandemic happened, and then I was like, okay, I need to. And then it works for like Nemo. It puts people in seats because of the following.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stand-up's my main thing. If I can pour people into coming
I've
to
been
shows.
one of Neema's. That's actually because I saw him on TikTok. Went to one of his comedy shows.
Oh, nice.
Me and my boys, whatever. We took photos.
Which
and
one?
Stuff. We went to the one in. It's a small room down. It's a small room downtown. You go in. The bar's on your right, and then you walk
Oh,
to the
okay,
back.
yeah.
I can't remember what it's
Nothing
called.
fancy. It was nothing fancy.
Yep.
Nice.
Great.
Closed down.
Really?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way. I love that.
They closed that one, opened a new one, and then that one closed down too.
No way.
Yeah, a lot of
Like,
clubs are gone.
Man, I've read this in your article. I know we've talked about it so many times, but like I don't know how, and I know you've probably thought about this so many times, how to
Shut up,
grow
bro.
comedy, because even me, I was supposed to go to a Kiss concert,
Nice.
and it ended up getting canceled. So I was going with my girlfriend and her sister, and like my family was going. So we're still in Waterloo for school. We're on the bus over. My dad called me. It's canceled. I'm like, well, we're going to Toronto. What can I do? So I'm thinking of stuff. I'm like, you know what? Let's go to Yuck Yucks.
Nice.
It was like the amateur night.
Tuesday? Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I actually saw what's his name? Andrew.
Ben Bankus? Oh, Andrew Packer?
Andrew Packer.
Nice.
Amazing. Didn't even realize. I knew him from TikTok from his Man News stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't realize. Hilarious. I actually thought he was
Nice.
one of the best because I think correct me if I'm wrong, but it goes like kind of like the way they line it up is like a show. Like someone opens and then and there's an MC, but then like the last show is supposed to be the best show or something like that.
I mean, usually like sometimes like it'll be like, host, opener, middle, and headliner.
Yeah.
The host, middle, and headliner are usually in some sort of ranking, but like headliner will probably flip back and forth and host sometimes. Yeah. Or if there's a headliner that wants a guest spot, they'll open the show and do a 5-minute, you know what I mean? Like, or 10-minute,
Because like he was amazing. There was a bunch of people. There was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's usually how they do
night.
the Wednesdays.
Amazing. So much fun. And I hated how everyone in that room was just because of the Kiss concert. Almost everyone in that room was there because the Kiss concert got canceled.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, I feel so bad because I don't know who would have been sitting there if the Kiss concert actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, I know you've said this before, and like, I don't know how we can do it to up the comedy.
Go to
specials.
shows.
Like, because it's just amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it's some of the most fun I've ever had.
Mm.
And like, I feel like you just gotta have. I think on the door it's gotta be just like a sign that just don't be a dick. Because there's people that are sitting there that are like not interacting with the comic. He's trying to pick on you, whatever. Like it's a comedy show, and they're sitting there like. Or
some people don't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? Oh, there's that too. Yeah, I mean, audience. Like we should have a course that is like how to be an audience member. You know what I mean?
Like 2-minute video before. You know how laser tag they show you the video right before you get into the comedy show. 2 little video do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts. Don't yell out. Don't be on your phone. If you're sitting there and we ask you something, be honest. Don't try to make a joke or lie about what you actually are being asked.
Yeah, and just like
and that's it.
Have fun.
Just be.
Yeah, that's why I like Nothing Fancy. They force you to have a drink or 2 to loosen you up.
Do they really?
Yeah, they're like before you go in, you have to have a drink.
A guy holds your head back and says, "If you don't want one, they just make you drink it." You know?
Force you. Yeah.
Imagine that'd be hilarious.
But I loved it. Like it was amazing, and I felt like so. Because there was a small room, it felt so personal with the comic as well.
That was a fun one.
Comic or comedian?
Depends how you're saying it.
Okay, so
it both work.
It's not like I call someone a comedian and they're like, actually, it's a comic.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, good. Yeah, it was an amazing thing. He actually ended up posting one of the clips that me and my buddies were talking to him with.
That's great. Yeah,
because I had a half Korean, half Persian friend.
If I remember seeing that one.
And he was like, oh, so you're like. Chop, but he's like, oh, you jaw. He was like, because that's like the perfect mix for
right.
And I love it. How do you find when you're kind of doing crowd work and stuff?
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, there's so much fun that can be had. Like, and I've been doing it for so long. Like, because it goes past what a joke will do. Like, because the audience feels like they're in on something brand new. You know, rather than being told something that they know that has been told. You know what I mean? Even though you try and make sure that your jokes are like. The audience feels like they are hearing it for the first time. Do you know what I mean? So, crowd work's great.
But I think some of the best clips come from it. Like, I love watching crowd work. I love comics. I don't know if I could do it.
Is this vibrating?
I know we've been going for a while.
No, I thought I heard it fucking vibrating.
Yeah.
But I love it, man. I love it. And I hate how it is here. And I know you were saying, like, it's different in the U.S.
Yeah.
Is it just more people? Is it the community comes out more? I know that you said the government funding's different, but
the funding's different. The people's mentality towards comedy is different. I don't know if that's because there's more famous people, or there's a bigger market, or mainstream media has U.S. comedy in it. But it's the same thing in the UK, where like because there's this star system, people have a higher respect for it. Also, there's more history there too. Maybe that's it. Like there's no real Canadian, like our history is we're still a very young country, you know what I mean, in comparison. So I don't know. A lot of theories. I don't know the answer.
But no history means that you can make history, right?
Buddy, put that on a fucking t-shirt.
No history means you can make
That's what I mean. It's like, no, but Marc-Anthony, I feel like you though, like as a
name there.
Full legal name. That was great.
You hit him with the Marc-Anthony.
Oh, I hit him with yeah. I don't know. It just felt like, you know what I mean?
That's
for
great.
The statement.
I gotta get a middle part now for this guy.
you gotta do it now.
The 3 Asian haircuts. That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Dude, I hope it grows out to the 3rd phase because
it's been like this for months.
Yeah,
months.
Because I would go to the barber and I would be like, just leave the top and then just fade up the sides, and then they never leave the top, and it's like I'm too afraid to tell them. To just like not.
You know what? That's a good thing to get into. Actually,
we could. How much time?
We've been going for an hour. We'll go for a little bit longer.
I don't care. Yeah, whatever you guys want to do.
We'll cut it down. But do you ever tell your barber like? I'm terrified to be like if it's the worst job ever. If he like gave me a skullet, I'd be like, I love it. Like, it's amazing. Thank you very much. And I'll leave the thing.
Because I don't want to hurt his, like, I don't want to hurt his.
Yeah, it's just
You have to.
career.
I have to?
You have
You
to.
do it?
Yeah, I've done it. I've left many barbers many times.
Really?
Midway?
Oh, not midway. Like
Midway
after
is
being like,
crazy.
I'm not coming back. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
and then they'll be
no.
like, hey man, book me, and I'm like, brother, I'm not,
Oh, no.
not doing
It's like,
this.
look at the shit you did.
One guy faded one side of my head and not the other.
I swear to God.
And I left, and I was like on the car ride home in the mirror. I was like, wait a second. And I was like, how fucking stupid am I?
It's like, yo, my color is not matching up right
Yeah,
now.
bro. And like,
Oh, God.
and there's been many times, you know, when they like at the end, they got the mirror and they're like, hey, what are your thoughts? I'm like, okay, well, can you trim this side down more? Can you get this shorter? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I try and sometimes I'm like, okay, it's good enough, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, but dude, when you find a barber, bro, I fucking stick with that shit.
Oh,
Like, I've had the same barber now for like 12 years.
I've had the same barber for so long. I love him. Because I went to one time, was at school because I had to get it cut.
Yeah.
This guy made me look.
Of course.
I swear to God,
Yeah,
I
man.
looked like I was.
Yeah.
But I have one barber here. He's from the Dominican. Barely speaks any English. We call him Papi.
I love it.
So I was like, hey, Papi. He actually, you know Nicky Jam, the singer?
No.
He's a Spanish singer, huge
No.
Spanish singer from the Dominican. He came over here, had a show, like sold out Scotiabank. My barber cut his hair.
It's unreal.
Crazy. He like I don't even say anything. I go, hey, Papi, dap him up, sit in the chair, don't talk.
He knows
He does.
exactly.
Where's he at?
He's here in Aurora. He's not far. He's
No,
on
but which,
Young and Wellington. It's called Ace's Barbershop.
Oh, right across
he's
from
at
like
Ace's,
Aw
yeah.
Shucks
Okay,
there or
okay.
yeah,
whatever.
right across from Aw Shucks.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, so he does me up so nice, but it started off $50 a haircut. We're at 70 now.
Yeah.
But
I think,
I'm like, honestly, I'll spray because he'll cut my hair. He does my eyebrows, make sure I'm shaved. Oh no. Well, we got one camera died. I guess that means we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
barbers.
he does me great. Barbers.
Yeah, let's get it in.
I
Okay.
think we should probably just call it there at that point.
You want to call it there?
I mean, unless
Let's
you
call
want
it there,
anything
let's
else,
call it there.
Let's
Yeah,
call it
we
there.
want to talk about.
That's what it is, guys.
Ladies and gents, I've been pizzas. He's been pandas. He's
I've been pastas.
And we had Marc-Anthony on the goddamn podcast. Let's
Boom.
do this, bro.
Let's go,
We
bro.
always do this. I don't know. Franklin does it. We
Yeah,
do
you
it
gotta
with
do
the
this
Cordonal.
with us.
Buddy.
Cheers.
There it is.
Auntie Malocchio. Get this guy's dad's breadsticks.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Later.